All right. So I had to. All right, guys. This is Chaos here, and welcome to the channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, that have subscribed, I go on rants about things that happen in everyday situations, rather if it's something that happened at work or outside of work. So, or in my personal life. If that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. If there's something that you're not interested in, then I recommend that you stop watching this video. Now, I have been in Alaska for about a year now. As you can see behind me, this is the 5th Avenue Mall. I don't go out often, but I figured I needed to go somewhere where I can have privacy for myself. So I can really let loose. Now, I have had the most shittiest, craziest experience in my life living here. And by no means an imagination that is a good experience by any means of your imagination. By any means. I didn't choose to come up here. I came up here for a job offer that I was supposed to get that I didn't get. My mother paid for the flight. I had to pay for everything else. It was a job offer. I think it was a correction officer job. And I didn't get it. And when I asked them why, they wouldn't tell me. I mean, if you're gonna tell somebody they didn't get a job, the least thing you can do is tell them why, right? So, I was on vacation. I took an 18-hour flight. I visited the Netherlands and I went to Africa. And there are some airports that don't even feel like you in the airport. It just feels like you in the damn mall, which is amazing, but so I was having a good time. For the first time in my life, when I left the US, I have never been at so much peace and the happiest man that I have ever been in my entire life. If leaving the US felt like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulders. You hear me? It felt like a whole weight was lifted off my shoulders. I had no worries. I was calm. The energy was different. Life was just, it just felt fulfilling, you know? And the moment when I came back to the States, it felt like I was shooting myself in the foot twice. Instead of it being, yay, I'm back in the US, it's like, yay, I can't wait to go back and leave this country all over again. Right? I took an 18-hour flight. It's like an 19-hour flight, approximately. Came all the way to the state of Alaska for a job that I did not get. Then I was staying with my uncle, with his wife and kids. They were talking about me behind closed doors, planning to kick me out. Then my uncle comes up and made these excuses, saying that I talked about everybody and I was very disrespectful to his kids, when his kids was already corrupted by the time I even got to his house. Not to mention that him and my mother, they're always talking about their stepdaughter, you know, like a dog. She was the talk of the year when I got there. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. And even if I was talking about everybody in the house, what is that to throw somebody else out on the streets? Instead of pulling somebody over to the side and actually talking to somebody. That's how black folks do. I can't stand black folks. I got treated dirty by the time I came over here. My mother went through all that trouble to get me up here, only to have me stuck up here. And I even asked her for help. You know what she told me? Just pray about it. How is prayer gonna fix my goddamn situation? What am I supposed to do? Get on my knees and ask Lord to let me borrow $20, and he's supposed to get up off his damn throne and come down to earth to help me out? I'm sick and tired of church folks. You know, people look at you, oh, he's black, so let me just, let me throw a few scriptures at him. Give a damn about scriptures. I remember I got on my knees and I used to pray and pray and pray every fucking night. Told the Lord what I wanted. Never came to pass. And I'm gonna tell y'all, this GOCC and these Hebrew Israelites and all this bullshit y'all believing in, I can't tell y'all what to do, but y'all need to stop paying that Ricard person. Y'all need to stop paying him all y'all money, because y'all going broke. Y'all ain't got no money to pay your bills, but you paying another pastor that don't even give a damn about you. And then pulling this whole Hebrew Israelite stuff. Shout out to Ringo TV. For checking these pastors that's spewing false information and misleading people over the internet. What y'all gotta understand is the gospel is also a business. People don't give a damn about your souls. None of these churches do. I remember when I was on the streets for 6 years, I literally went to a church to ask for help and did not get no help. I didn't get no phone call. I didn't get nothing. All I got was, yo, you should come to our church and you should worship with us. Anyway, that's another video for another time. So I had the most shittiest, craziest time in the state of Alaska. During my time being stuck here, because I came all the way up here for nothing. Then I got a crazy landlord talking crazy, telling young dudes that they don't deserve a pretty woman, trying to give advice to other people when she don't even probably follow her own advice. Then I got to deal with people at work. It's crazy. So, let's start off what happened after I didn't get the job that I sacrificed a lot to get all the way up here to get. Let's talk about it. And I'm going to tell you guys, unless if you really have connections here, unless if you really have family here, do not come up here to Alaska. Don't come up here. Don't. Especially if you're a black man, do not come to Alaska. I'm telling you right now. What I'm about to tell you in this video will blow your mind. Alright. So to start off, I was working for a security company. I ended up quitting it because the other person didn't want to they didn't want to split the work. They want to try to make things convenient for them on the job so they can do what they want to do. I said, no, I'm not doing it. So I ended up just quitting. Right? So then I applied for TSA. Called HR. Got told by HR, we're not going to help you with anything. And the only thing they good at is just checking the status of your application. They're not good for anything else. And HR, I thought, was supposed to help people. But unfortunately, people don't care about helping other people anymore. And this is why I say the job market is collapsing right now. Start working for yourself. And when it comes to family, cousins, friends, you need to cut them out of your life. Because they're only doing things that benefits them. They don't care about you or nobody else. I know because I'm going through the same shit. So I quit that job. My uncle and his family decided to move to another city that was like an hour and 30 minutes from here, Eagle River. And the way currently I'm Anchorage right now. So the way it's mapped out is Anchorage is a place they have a bunch of homeless people and they don't really do anything about it. They got a bunch of people that walking around drunk all the time. You know, they're always drunk. And a lot of people, they smoke and they drink irresponsibly here. Then you go to, they call it the valley area of Alaska, where you're going to Eagle River and Wasilla, I heard it's pretty dangerous up there. There's a lot of people up there. I heard that the police up there don't have no power up there. You know, I even heard from an Uber driver, I think he was African or something like that. He told me, he said that they had guns and they were about to bust up in his car because they didn't know who he was. Like, yeah, good luck with that. My ass ain't going up there. I deal with enough bullshit here in Eagle River, sorry about that, and in Anchorage. Anyway, so when we moved up there, I ended up working at McDonald's, right? Here in Alaska, but it was in Eagle River, right? And as I was working there, I had a couple of people that were talking to me. This manager was talking to me, asking me why I'm here in Alaska, as if like I'm not even supposed to move to another state or something, right? So I came here for a job that I didn't get, and I left it at that. Ultimately, I told her I came here for the same reason that everybody else or every other tourist come here, to make money and to get the Alaskan experience. So during my time working there, my uncle's oldest son told me that I need to go meet with the store manager about a situation that happened. And of course, they're not going to tell you what type of situation or what kind of situation it was. Of course, they're not going to tell you that. Right? So I end up going up there one morning. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was Monday because I was off that day last year. And sat at the table. It was the hiring manager and the store manager. So the store manager wanted to say, oh, well, it was brought to our attention that the ladies in the store were concerned because they were telling me that you were asking them out on dates. I said, well, ma'am, I don't know what ladies told you that, but I barely talked to anybody when I was here. The only person I spoke to was the manager. That's the only person that I spoke to, but it wasn't nothing about dating or nothing like that. You know? But what she really tried to say is the lady that I was talking to, you know, we talked about, you know, having a future one day with somebody and, you know, starting a family or whatever. And then, like, and I'm going to tell you, like, there's a lot of prejudiced people here in Alaska, especially if you're going to the nicer areas. There's a lot of prejudiced people. They don't talk to you about anything. They just sneak behind the higher up and they tell the higher up what's going on. I have witnessed women will call the police on you, as what happened to a security guard that I used to work with. And at the time, I'm like, wow, y'all done got this man in jail for something he didn't do just because the female said he did it. And I'm gonna tell you, so as I started to work at McDonald's in Eagle River, I noticed that I was in the kitchen. I'll never forget. I was in the kitchen cleaning dishes, right? Because they had me cleaning dishes, taking out the trash, breaking down boxes, and then they put me back on flipping meat, hamburger meat, stuff like that. Then they'll take me off and whatever, right? There was this teenage Samoan dude, I'll never forget, came up to me and asked me, do I know how to masturbate? I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be talking about stuff like that at work, right? Now, granted, I'm the only black man that works at McDonald's. I was even told by a teenager that I was the first black person that he ever seen in his city, in Eagle River. I'm not making this up, right? Which most of the kids were disrespectful too. And so they didn't do anything to him because a lot of foreigners that come up here to work, because they barely know English very well, they tend to get away with a lot of stuff on the job than people who can speak well spoken English, unfortunately. So slightly, there's like a double standard, right? So then, the manager pulled me into the break room and asked me was I flirting and trying to hook one of the co-workers up with another employee, with the two ladies that was working on the sandwich. I'm like, well, I'm not hooking up with nobody. He came up to me and said that he wanted me to massage his back. I told him there was two ladies up there. If you want to get your back massage, then ask them. But I'm the wrong person you need to be asking about that. I don't swing that way, right? So I end up having to go home early because all of a sudden everybody, which is all of a sudden they treated me like I'm some threat of the universe. Like, okay, well, we really don't want him working here. I mean, well, I don't feel comfortable working around him when I don't even work around her that much. I don't know. I don't keep up with people that work in the back. But anyway, it was just like, it was just people were just so ultra sensitive about other people. And they did this shit to me because I was black. And I was the only black man that was working at McDonald's here in Alaska, in Eagle River. Right? There was a black chick that was there too. But she starts like, you know how when, you know, black women sees a black man and they start talking slang and all of this other shit just because I'm black. And I hate that shit. But we're going to get to that store manager in a minute. So I came back. The manager told me, do I come back tomorrow? Am I fired or what's going on? He said, well, just come back tomorrow. They just don't feel comfortable working around you, whatever. So I told the hiring manager and the store manager what was going on, just in case if it gets to them. We looked at the cameras. I didn't even really see what I was doing anything wrong. I told her everything while I was explaining everything. And she was kind of giving me a damn hard time as I'm explaining the goddamn story. Fuck this damn country. And I even hate the fact that I even came back to the damn States. Anyway. So what ended up happening was I ended up like telling her what was going on. So then as soon as I came in the next day, I was looking at the manager. The manager quickly went to the friend of his and said, oh, he's here, right? Then he wrote a whole list of stuff to have me to do in the kitchen. And I'm just thinking, what kind of shit is this? Why are you having me doing all of this stuff? Because usually when I come in, you can't assign yourself or anything. So you have to, it's like a kid trying to get permission to play the Nintendo 64. You got to get permission just to start working at McDonald's up there. It was stupid. It was ridiculous, right? So I ended up, usually I would work flipping hamburgers and do the fryers. That was like the only thing that I would do. And then later on, they would usually have me in the kitchen, or they'll take turns, have somebody else in the kitchen, or whatever they do, right? So instead, the manager had me in the kitchen telling me to do everything in the kitchen. I'm like, well, damn. You got me doing all of this shit? So you trying to get me to stay in okay, let me get this straight. So you're trying to get me to stay in the kitchen the entire time just because a person just all of a sudden she just don't feel comfortable working around me? I think she's just doing that to be ignorant. A lot of prejudiced folks do shit like that. Just like he came up to me and asked me, why are you talking to yourself? I wasn't even talking to myself to get no attention. I was just doing it, just for me. I wasn't trying to get no attention. And I said, well, I do, but there's a lot of prejudiced people. And if I talk to them, the next thing they're going to do is they're going to sneak towards the manager and they're going to report me. They're going to feel a certain type of way and then they're going to report me. And I'm not trying to talk with nobody. If it ain't work related, I keep it work related. That's what I told them. And if it ain't work related, I don't talk to anybody. I just talk to myself about whatever I want to talk about. He was like, well, what you talking about? I'm like, I'm not telling you anything. You ain't gonna get me in trouble and cause me to lose my damn job. And you got all these females up in here, teenagers mixed with adults, over here sneaking towards the store manager, telling a bunch of damn lies and trying to get me fired. I'm not telling you about what I'm talking about. I don't deal with prejudiced folks. That's what I told them. I don't deal with prejudiced folks. And then given the fact that I'm the only black guy that works here in the McDonald's, it just makes me feel like, it made me feel like I was out of place. Like, it just made me feel like I was out of place. And everybody was doing some crazy stuff behind my back. And all I was doing was just doing my job. But because for some reason they don't like me, or because I'm not appealing to a lot of people, which I wasn't even there to try to flirt or do nothing. And some of the workers asked about my cousin, because he was the one that put me on with McDonald's. They were asking about him. I'm like, I don't know. I guess he's doing okay. They don't talk to me. But I'll tell him he said hello. Right? So one day I was taking out the trash at work, at the McDonald's job. Went to the back, because, they got a dumpster compactor and it's like a garage area, and I had to break down the boxes and put them in the dumpster and along with the trash and everything else, right? Tried to leave. I was locked in. I banged on the door and I was locked in the garage area for 2 hours. I'm not making this up. For 2 fucking hours, I was locked in that garbage trash garage door. There were so many damn buttons, I didn't even know what to push. I wasn't even trained to let the garage up and down. Nobody told me shit. And this ain't even the worst part of it. I'm just getting started. This is just icing on the cake. I am just getting started. Now, Um, there were times that I would be on the phone, right? Talking to some friends and whatnot. Somebody called the police on me. The police telling me, well, we was about to arrest you, but we just came to do a wellness check. I'm like, why the hell they doing a wellness check? I'm up here talking. I'm not even doing anything to anybody, right? I'm just minding my own business. These people are crazy up here. They will call the police on you. For no reason. Anything that they feel like, it's kind of like living in a village back in the 30th century where, you know, when the villagers see something that they don't understand, they would take that person that did some supernatural powers or something that they didn't understand, they will rope them up against a stake and they will set them on fire and burn their corpse and call those people demonic. That's how these prejudiced people in Alaska are at. If they see something they don't understand or they don't quite really get it, they just quickly go call the police for no damn reason. For no damn reason. Now, then I ended up quitting that job and I worked for Securitas. And I was trying to go to a post. It was a cruise ship terminal. They call it the Neptune or something like that. So I worked there. Then I had discovered that I wasn't really getting paid enough on that job. So what I decided to do was I decided to get another job. So I started working at Walmart. This was last year, right? And as I was working there, I was working 2 jobs. I was working myself down. The money was good, but I was working 2 jobs. I had to do what I had to do, you know? So during that time, I had to deal with I was working as an overnight stalker at Walmart. You know, I was excited for the job. I was ready to get to work. You know, not to mention the first paycheck that I got after working there, it actually changed my life. It helped me because I had a lot of expenses and other stuff that I had to take care of at that time. Only to have my uncle to throw me out on the streets. But we'll get to that part in a second. So during that time I was working overnight stalking at Walmart. I enjoyed it. You know, it was fast paced, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Came to work one day. Well, the supervisor came up and started to talk to me, and I haven't even been doing this shit for like a week or a month. It ain't even, I just started this job and the supervisor already saying some shit, right? Then when I came to the office, he just got an attitude. Can I just eat my lunch, please? I'm like, seriously? These people really got serious issues. And I didn't go off on them because I needed this job, because I needed the money. But if there was a will and if there was a way, then guess what? I wouldn't be taking that abuse. I would have cussed his ass out. in a heartbeat. Right? So I asked him about, getting some help with my job performance because I really wanted to improve on my job. And I told him, if you can send somebody to teach me is a certain way you want me to stock the shelves, is it your easy way or fast way? Because when you're working a fast-paced job, there's always a way to do things and still come out on top. But instead of the supervisor trying to consent to that, he rather consent to, well, just because I can just, scan the items, and then just because I hit the button and they got these tags where the green light starts flashing to let you know where to stock the items at. Okay, yeah, but that's not really helping. Because if that were it, then you wouldn't have to say anything about me stocking or wondering why I'm in the same aisle for a long period of time, if that were the case. So at this point, the supervisor did not want to help me at all. Basically, he just said, if either you figure it out or maybe this job ain't for you. That was a way of saying fuck you or do your job. I said, okay. So I came to work the next day after that. All of a sudden, hey, we put you on an overnight janitor crew. And I'm just like, yeah, but why didn't nobody just sit me down and talk about this stuff before I didn't even have a chance to consent to all of this? It's like they just because they were too lazy and they didn't want to train me and they want to keep the people that they have. They just wanted to move me over because, I wasn't meeting their expectations, but I just started the damn job. And they already trying to move me over to janitor. Yes, that's right, folks. They moved me to janitor without my consent. It's like they just took it upon themselves and moved me somewhere else. I told the new HR person about it. Because the old HR wasn't going to do shit about that situation. The ladies, they get in that HR, they don't give a shit about nobody. The only thing they'll do is give you a list of instructions and demands and orientation, and that's it. They don't care about anything else. Right? So, I'm sitting up here, right? Thinking, okay. I was already tired, and I wasn't going to go through the trouble of arguing or anything. So I said, okay. I actually enjoyed it. But me and the team lead that was working there, him and I bumped heads a few times. He had me writing down everything, in the pad, and I didn't want to do that. And then he turns around to give me an ultimatum and tell me, either you do that or this job ain't for you. You can go home. This is why I tell you guys, start owning your own business and stop depending on these jobs and punching the clock every day, because you get treated like shit on these motherfucking jobs. They don't give a damn about you. You can be with a company from 5 to 10, even 22 years, and they don't give a shit about you. You're not going to be appreciated for the investment that you have put into the company, especially with AI taking over everything. Don't give a damn about you. All I want you to do is your job. They don't give a damn about anything else. Anyway, started working the janitor crew. Started writing stuff down. I started working. Come to find out, when I was speaking to the guy that was training me how to do the job, he said he went through the same thing. I'm like, wow. So you went through the same thing? Okay. So you went through this. So let me get this straight. So you went through the same thing, and you went through the same thing, and you ended up here too. That's crazy. Not sure if the HR person is going to do anything about it or not, but I did tell him my experience when I last was working there at Walmart. Not to mention, I had to call Walmart. People always say Walmart is always hiring, right? Well, think again. I had to call Walmart in Eagle River about 7-8 times just to get somebody on the damn phone to let them know I put in an application. And half of them didn't even know how to send a job offer except for the HR person. Ain't that something? They don't even know how to help other people that are trying to get the job. I tried to get a job at Walmart in Anchorage. Went up there several times. They kept asking me, give me your information. I will make sure she gets this and gets that. Well, I did that the last time, ma'am. And guess what? I didn't get no call. I didn't get nothing. No email, no nothing. You just got a bunch of people that can't even speak English very well. I even tried to ask for help. Because I was looking for some thermals and some winter stuff, that I can wear and lounge around the house. The lady done disappeared off in the aisle somewhere. I couldn't even find out where she at. That's just bad customer service. The fruit tastes like shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they started locking up the meat like they doing in other states. Since so many people coming in here stealing, drunk, intoxicated. And that's another thing that I get in Alaska too. They always, I'm always hearing that somebody's on drugs or somebody is intoxicated or somebody this or that. And then you can't really talk to anybody here because people got the brain size of a damn peanut. You have to be the type of guy that they're expecting you to be. You have to be this kind of person where you have to be this type of person like Kratos from God of War. You have to be boy. You have to actually be a man of a stoic automaton man that's a man of a few words. A gaming NPC character. That's what they expect. It even gets worse. So my uncle told me, well, at the time I didn't have the slightest clue as to what was going on because I was focused on what I needed to do. So a friend of mine from the Philippines was like, what's going on? Why are you disrespecting your mother like that? What are you talking about, disrespecting my mother like that? I barely even talk to my mother, and she barely even talk to me. All she does is send videos all the damn time. Show them, say, hey, what's up? Red, blue, sky, red, up and down. I don't get none of that from her. It's always me having to text her to see if she's okay. Don't nobody check up on me to see how I'm doing. I don't have family that got my back, that can, that they can hit me up and say, hey, how you doing? I don't have any of that. And if those of you that have the same experience as I had, comment down below. I like to read some of your experiences, because I learned a lot of stuff through people from different walks of life. But I don't have family that has my back, that can help me when I'm stuck in a corner. All I get told is, oh, well, just get on your knees and pray to God, and your whole situation will magically work itself out. How the hell that's gonna help me with my situation? You done paid all this money to get me up here, to get this job, plus my mother's brother, which is my uncle, threw me out on the streets. I don't know anybody. I don't have no friends here. Don't really give a shit about having friends here, because that's pretty much saturated. Friendships here is saturated too, and it's being taken in a different way. I don't know nothing here. I'm not even from here. I done came all the way up here for nothing. And then there's hardly any jobs that I want to apply here. And the jobs I want to apply here, it's like these jobs are hiring, but they're not really hiring people. Because if they really were looking for somebody, why didn't they pull up my damn application? You see what I'm saying? This is the bullshit with these damn jobs that you got to put up with. You got to put in and keep applying for 50 to 100 job applications. Even people with degrees are having an issue finding jobs. Not to mention 14 million Americans just got laid off on Amazon, and Amazon is still laying off people. You notice you don't hear Google or Microsoft laying off any more people, because they're about a damn near to replace everybody with AI now. Now, I love AI, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, y'all got to stop depending on these jobs. I mean, yeah, work for a shorter time, but build something. Get that income stream in. Make it your full time so you can leave these damn jobs. That's the whole purpose. Or else you're going to be enslavement to a job for the rest of your life, dealing with people that don't even like you, and you don't even like them. You got to deal with a bunch of bullshit on the job, especially if you're a security guard. That's even worse. And that's the bullshit that I got to put up every damn day. Before I came up here to Alaska, I was homeless. I didn't have nothing. I stayed in my car and living in a hotel for 6 years of my damn life. Finally talked to my mother. She saw that as an opportunity to take me all the way to what the country was, Africa. Now, I did have a good time. I had a good experience. You know, it was way better than being here in the U.S., and I really did not want to come back here. But I had no choice but to come back, unfortunately. Yet again, she put me over there to spy on her, some guy she married that she met also from the U.S. Then once me and him bumped heads and things didn't work out, I had to come all the way back over here. Took an 18, 19-hour flight all the way back. Stayed with my uncle to try to get a job. Tried to get on my own 2 feet. Only to find out he only was using me to get more money out of me. I was paying more than the kids was paying. Then when I bought shit with money that I paid for, he gonna have enough nerve. My uncle got enough nerves to tell me what I can drink, what I can eat, what I can't eat. I buy and eat what I want to eat. I know the stuff that I'm not supposed to eat, which I don't eat that shit anyway. But if I want to buy some Florida orange juice or some Florida fruity punch, I'm going to get that. And then when I asked him, what type of juices do you recommend? Right? This is my uncle I'm talking about. He was all like, well, you could get cold pressed, but your ass walking around here with some... Okay, so in Alaska, they have these juices. They're really good. They're really good juices. They come in different forms of juicy flavors. They come in like... I think they got one in like raspberry, and then there's one in regular orange juice, and then there's another one that's like a tangerine orangey flavor. Natalie juices. Look it up on Google. It's one of the bestest juices, and I think only Alaska sell those here. I don't know if other states sell them, but they're some of the best juices that you will ever drink. It is 100% juice, and it's healthy. And I'm gonna tell you, you barely see any of those damn juices on the damn shelf, especially if you coming up here to Alaska, because people keep buying all of them bottles of Natalie juices. I call them Natalie juices, but just look it up. It's called Natalie. Just type in Natalie juices. Just do your research. Anyway, so I'm up here. I'm like, he gonna tell me it's got something in it, but it's way better than what you're drinking. How do you know it's way better than what I'm drinking? Have you done any research to see what those people, him and his entire family, this elder Ricard person or whatever he is, this GOCC, whatever this church is, they done brainwashed y'all asses. I'm gonna tell you right now, they are robbing y'all of all of your money. They're taking God's word and twisting it around. They're making y'all think that he's like on top of the Most High. He's making money off of y'all, while my uncle is staying in a roasted, infested house, into a nice house that his kids can't even clean. And while my mother is struggling, waiting on something that coming from the court because she failed or whatever the case may be, and she trying to figure out how to get to point A to point B, but you giving your tithes and stuff to this Ricard person, and all he's doing is taking all that money and financing his own kids, taking them to private schools, doing all kinds of things for himself. Because usually, I seen a clip of him. He used to be on the streets, but now he don't even do that no more. It's all about money to him now. And these people are blind, and they're going to continue to be blind. But don't kind of boss up and force this GLCC Hebrew Israelite crap on me. I've been known that he was a false prophet. And I'm just surprised that my mom, as much as she knows about the Bible, she should be able to pick up on these things. Maybe I need to warn her. Maybe it's my time to warn her. But see, I don't feel like going through all that fussing and all that other bullshit. I ain't got time for that. Because you know how black folks act. Oh, well, you do what you want to do. You the one that got to answer to God. You the one that got to answer for what you do, so you do what you want to do. That's what mothers tell their kids now, making them feel like they just did a horrible thing, making them feel like God is gonna condemn them and destroy them just because they saying that stuff. This is crazy. Like the whole church and everybody else is just living in fear. But anyway, let me get back to my story. I ain't trying to get all in that religious bullshit, but anyway, so I came to work one day, came back, and was told, and then my uncle was talking to me. He was like, well, I brought you here because I thought you was going to be an inspiration to my kids and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look, you know who that inspiration is supposed to come from? It's not supposed to come from me. It's supposed to come from you and your wife, not from me. Okay? It starts at home before anywhere else. I didn't come there to inspire nobody. I came here to build myself up, to get myself on my own 2 feet. That's why I came back to the States. I didn't come back here to inspire your kids. Your kids were already, his kids was already corrupted by the time I got there. Now, let's do a review before I continue with this story. I want to make sure that you guys understand what I'm actually going through right now. Okay, I've been homeless for 6 years in the state of Alabama. I lost my car. I had a hit and run accident. I lost every damn thing. I came up, made the sacrifice, took an 18, 19-hour flight, got myself in some bullshit that I didn't want to put myself into. And the only reason I came up to Alaska because of a job that I had high hopes for that I was going to get, but didn't get it. Wasn't even told why I didn't get the job. Right? Got thrown out of my uncle's home because he accused me of eating up all their food, and even though I was buying my own stuff, and I brought a rice cooker and a crock pot, he had something to say about that and everything else. I mean, I don't want to mess with their dishes. I don't want to touch their spoons and forks. Right? I want my own stuff. Okay. He told me that I had until July to get out of his house. And told my mother that I was no longer welcome in his house anymore. So now I'm thrown out on the streets. Technically, I feel like I'm still living out on the streets. Because when I was moving into another house, and the way I got treated by this landlord, oh my goodness. Stay tuned for that one. I still feel like I'm living on the damn streets. So I ended up looking for some places. My mom did help me with that. She claimed that she didn't want to see me on the streets, but but the way things are going, I'm probably going to end up on the damn streets. So I get up here, I meet this lady, and she seemed nice. Told her my situation. I told her what was going on, and when we finally met, she took me to the bank to go get the money, right? And then she said she may acquire $200 deposit. And I got confused because I'm thinking, I'm only just renting a room. I'm not renting a house. Why am I paying a $200 deposit? When you said that you only acquire $400 just for moving in. That should be a deposit right there. She was hustling me out of a total of $600. I mean, if you needed $600, you could have just been like, okay, pay this half, and then you can just pay me the other $200. Instead of just making it seem like I'm paying a deposit. Because that made me feel like I'm paying another $200, which add on to $600 for just to move in, right? And as I was staying there, she threw a lot of insults at me. Treated me like shit. I was going through so much shit in my life. So much shit in my life. And when I came in, I was trying to look for another job because I needed money while I was working for my security job, because I was working a seasonal job and it was getting close to being over with. So I was trying to find another job to make up for the hours that I wasn't getting at the other job. And the other job, it felt like I was spending more. You ever worked a job before where it felt like you were spending more money just to show up on time for the job than you were as making more money on the job? You ever been through that before? That's what I was going through. I was going through it. I was going through it. I was literally going through it. So I was talking. She was like, well, you really don't have a choice. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't have a choice? Because if you don't work for me, you're going to be homeless. And she was laughing like it was funny. She even embarrassed me when we went to the store to go get things that she needed, because she needed pillows and everything else. Ate chips with me around the store that she didn't even pay for. And at that point, when I saw her do that, that is going to be the first and the last time that I'm ever going to work for her. Theoretically speaking, I was just helping out. I didn't have to work for her, but I was just helping her out because it seemed like I just need somebody to help me with this, and that, or as well as, hey, I need you to work for me to get so I can do this, and this, because all of this stuff she can do on her own, right? And so she ended up calling me broke, which I never told her that I was broke. I mean, are you looking at somebody else's account to see how much money they got that you can probably snag away if you had the chance? I never told her that I was broke. I just told her I'm just looking for another job so I can continue to get some more income coming in while I was doing YouTube. Well, I didn't tell her about the YouTube part, but I'm juggling both at the same time, so to speak. Sometimes I'm too damn tired and I can't even do a video, so I just get some rest, probably do something else. At the time, the reason it took me so long to make videos because I didn't have nothing else to talk about. So what ended up happening is so that happened, and she sent me the GCI. It's an internet company here in Alaska, and she sent me there to pay her internet bill. And the way she was paying it was so confusing. She told me what to do. I went in there. I'm figuring, okay, I'm hearing what she's saying. Let me go in here and then let me just call her if I have any questions or comments or concerns that I may have. And that's what I did. So her son came in. He was able to get the money and help pay whatever, right? So as I'm coming out, the landlord comes up to me and tells me, well, she didn't say nothing at first, but I got in the car. Oh, she told me I was on her shit list. And she had a pissy look on her face like she was going to get ready to blow my brains out. Right? Like I said, I've been through some crazy shit while living here in Alaska. I deal with some crazy, shitty ass people. And I'm telling you, if you don't have no reason, there's no reason for you to come up here anyway. Don't come up here. Alaska is a melting pot full of racist and prejudiced people, and people who are very ignorant, and they will disrespect you in all shapes, sizes, and forms because they can. So she had to drop her son off because he had a doctor's appointment, got stuff going on with his arm, and something that happened at work. I don't know. But as she took off, she called. Now this is the landlord saying this now. She said that I was a fuck up. I see why you can't keep any jobs now. Oh yeah. She called me a fuck up. That was red flag number 1. But see, I let that slide. I didn't say nothing. Because I'm thinking, you're old enough to be my grandmother. You should have more common sense than me. And the fact that you said that, and she never ever came back, and the stuff that she did, her conscience don't really condemn her. All the stuff that she said and the stuff that she did, she never came back and apologized for it. Never came back and apologized for it. Moving on, I ended up keeping my distance from everybody in the house because I just felt mistreated. I'm just like, okay, I got kicked out of my uncle's house. I done told you what I was going through. I get this, oh, you're a fuck up. Oh, and it gets worse. I haven't even got started yet. It gets even worse. So, me and a couple of roommates were in the car, right? We're just talking, just having a guy's conversation, right? We weren't really talking about nothing. She wanted to know what was being talked about in the car. And I found out that she was paranoid, so she think the whole world is out there to get her. Then she's wishing death on people that leave her house, that move out. And then tells me that they find them out in the woods dead somewhere. I'm just like, what in the world did I just sit here and listen? What did I just walk into? Right? So then it got worse. I went up one day to check on the landlord because, just to see how she was doing, because I genuinely cared about her and I genuinely wanted to make sure that she was okay. But she'd been mixed in with all of these crazy people in Alaska for so long that she just think that somebody's up to something. She think that the whole world is gonna destroy her and knock her down, and she always got her guard and defenses up. I genuinely would just wanted to make sure that she was okay. I cared about her, in a sense of, I want to make sure you're okay. I'm not just a roommate. But a lot of people don't see it that way. They just see that you're up to something. I did some things for her. I gave her a bottle of orange juice. I said, hey, I got you some orange juice, to keep you health up, whatever. She thought I was up something. She was like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't want anything. Once everything that I want is in another country. I don't want anything else from this country or nobody else. It's like you can't even, and the problem with America, with these Americans here in Alaska, or Alaskans, or whatever the hell you want to call them, you can't do anything nice to them or with them without them always suspecting that you got some sort of string attached to it. People can't even tell the difference between someone who wants to be genuine because they're more used to people doing something for them with a string attached to it. So her and I talked, and she started bringing up her daughter and something about she's supposed to be getting married, and she brought up a whole lot of stuff that I didn't really care about, to be honest. So she started talking about how her daughter wants to be the breadwinner and she likes broke men and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, here we go. All right, it's like every time when I talk to her, it's always about relationships or somebody on drugs or somebody doing this, and oh, this person is this and that. But the problem with this person, he's doing that, he's doing this, and then he's got that problem, and this problem is happening, and then everything else is going all the way around in between and under and up and down. It was just really ridiculous at this point, right? So I'm just sitting up here and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And she made a statement telling me that I had feminine qualities. And I was confused. I was like, what do you mean? That's something a female does. I know. And then she tries to give me some examples and the way I talk like this, and I don't understand this, and people are that, and I'm just like, that got nothing to do with somebody having feminine qualities. That's just me just being firm and making things clear. That's not me just getting feminine about, like, I'm a man. What do I know about feminine qualities? Like, it's crazy, man. Some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth, it's just crazy. Like, these people are crazy. All right. So that's red flag number 2. So far, she made fun of me and took advantage of my situation by having me work for her. Secondly, she called me a fuck up, even though I worked at $2 trillion companies for about a total of 5 years. I worked for a Mercedes plant where I was building seats for the new model Mercedes cars that you see in 2026 right now. I built those seats. I was the one that inspected those seats. That was me. Okay? I also worked at Amazon Fulfillment Center for 2 years. 2 peak seasons. The best worker on the damn planet. To the point where I was working in every group at Amazon that you can possibly put your name on. I was working in AFE. I was working in PP Mix. I was doing special projects for Amazon. I did a lot of work, and I invested a lot of dedication to Amazon. But when it comes to these type of companies or any other company or any other job, they don't give a shit about you. They want you to work. They want you to work like a slave. Because you know why people say you're trading time for money? When you're trading time for money, you're making the owner of the companies more richer every day, while you're getting less pay and less hours, or less pay. So, moving on, she started to talk to me, and she was talking to some of her other friends, and she was saying that that I was gay, that they made an assumption that I was gay because I didn't want to be in a relationship, that I wanted to stay single, right? And I said, well, I'm not gay. I mean, just because somebody wants to stay single, that doesn't make them gay. She was like, are you sure? Like, yeah, I'm sure. I know who I am. I'm not like all these lost stray cats in this timeline that's going around thinking that they should be a girl when they're a boy, or they're thinking that they're a boy and they're supposed to be a girl. I don't swing that way. That's not the way that I was raised. I was born in 1988. I was raised to be a man. I wasn't raised to be some soliloquy, binary, LGBTQIA, or whatever you want to call it. Ain't that something? I even know that, and I'm not even gay. Anyway, that was red flag number 3. So at that point, red flag number 4, she's sitting up here telling young dudes, told me that I didn't deserve a pretty woman, that I have to be a millionaire to get a pretty woman. Fuck you guys. As a matter of fact, if you want me to play the recording, leave in the comments below. I can play that recording. I got the recording. Anyway, my whole life just been shitty. shittier and shittier and shittier by the day. And then I had to deal with people at work versus I had to keep my distance from everybody in the house. Because I just felt like what the hell did I just got into? Then she had these really crazy rules. Like, you got to do a chore, or you have to pay her $25. Or you have to pay, when you're washing your clothes, you have to pay $5 a wash if it's shorter, and $10 a wash if it's shorter. Then on top of that, you have to help out with buying some toilet paper and other stuff, right? I'm like, which don't make any sense because she has over 8 people that lives in her home, including myself, right? So you shouldn't really need us to spend extra more money to help you out with something when you're getting more money out of us than we're making more money at our jobs. You should be the one to buy all this stuff. I mean, if you're gonna run a business, you have to spend money. You can't try to use other people's. Now, there's some people that don't mind doing it, and that's fine. But it's like, you can't use other people money to tell them to go get what they need. You don't even know what these people got going on. They probably need money to get a ride just to get to work, because half of them don't have cars. And I don't think she understands what people have to go through on these jobs every day just to get the rent money that they trying to get. Because every day on these jobs is a damn battle. I'm fighting a battle every damn day that I go to work. Every day as a security guard, when I go to work, there's a battle that I'm fighting. And I'm the only man on the damn battlefield. Always have been the only man on the battlefield. It is a battle to the finish. But then, even when you're giving it your all, to some people, your all is just not enough. I think I did enough. So then I started working at the mall. And there's this manager that reported me at one of the stores and then wrote me off and accused me of harassing her. All I was doing was familiarizing myself with the managers and the people that work there, because I'm the one that have to sit in front of the, interior doors at 8 o'clock every morning to make sure that people are actually working here and not just any random people showing up, because I can't tell with the different faces. And yeah, I did say that. It's not my job to remember all these faces. But then if it is my job, then explain to me why I got reported and removed from the site, all because of the fact that the person felt a certain way. Right? So I was at the theaters the other day, right? And this new security guard showed up. So I called the supervisor just to confirm everything. So I'm like, you mean to tell me she just gonna send a security guard over here and ain't even told me nothing? So I trained him, showed him everything he needed to know, right? So that was this chick this lady that I was talking to that she always forget. From what I heard about her, is she comes to the movies, she spends all her money on snacks and stuff, but she never has any money to get to where she wants to be, right? Sorry about that. I accidentally stepped on that by accident. She never has any money to do what she needs to do, to get a ride home, but she spends it all on snacks. That's what I heard about it now. I don't know too much about this lady. Nice as she can be, but sweet as she can be, but that's what I heard about her, right? So end up to find out that the guy that I was training happened to know those guys, right? So I'm just thinking, like, he was telling me that he was part native, And I'm just like, you know how like somebody that's white or somebody that's Asian, they'll say that they're part black, but they're not really black. You know, now there is a such thing as Blasian, but this guy said that he's part native. But it was just a regular white dude, right? And I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I didn't really care. All I cared about was getting off, right? So then it got to the point where it was like, okay, so the guy that was, talking to him and, giving him some dap and all of that stuff, I was just standing right there watching the whole thing. And I'm just sitting up here like, this man, okay, so you mean to tell me he is the only person, and that's the thing that people in Alaska would do. They only speak to people that they know, and they don't speak to people that they don't know, right? And then they just act like everybody else don't even exist. That's crazy. So it was at that point, it hit me. It was like, these people are really heartless individuals here. Now, I have read some few good people here in Alaska, but that's not the overall majority. My experience has not been that great here, and I can't wait to leave here, much less get out of the States, because America is starting to be a toxic, dysfunctional country. You can't be yourself. You can't meet new people. Nobody wants to meet new people. People use friendship as a fling just to use it as some tag-along person that they need in the moment, and then they throw you aside. It's just crazy. Friendships is just not valued the way it should in this country, because it's superficially short term. It's not even long term. Anyway, the job I work, I really hate it. I hate working these jobs, period. So I work as a security guard at theater. Like, the people in the theater, they act up, they throw tantrums, and they do all kinds of crazy stuff. Right? I have to walk every hour. Like, it's a lot of walking, but it ain't really so much as the walking. It's just the people. It's just like, the longer I started working there, it's like everybody is just, they all act so dry. Like, their attitudes and their vibe is so dry and dull. People that they just have this on and off switch every time they come to work. But anyway, I'm probably gonna be able to I'm saving up as much money as I can. I mean, that's the only reason why I came to the US anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like more rants, if you want me to go Ultra Instinct instead of going Super Saiyan 2, then stay tuned for my next video. Check out my short or video that's on the screen if you want to check that out. If you want to hear more stories like this, check it out. I'll see you guys later. And remember, do not subscribe to my channel. I don't like neither one of you. Just kidding. Take care, guys. Be back with another video real soon.